Ødegaard joined Arsenal on loan from Real Madrid in January for the remainder of the 2020-21 season. No purchase obligation is included in the deal between the two clubs. As it stands, the Norwegian will return to the Spanish capital at the end of this campaign, barring a turnaround. The Gunners may decide on exploring the option of signing Ødegaard on a permanent deal. However, everything depends on the player and the parent club if they can find a way to make things happen. But in any case, the Gunners have managed to do a smart piece of business to sign the highly rated 22-year-old playmaker, who'd been struggling to get minutes on the pitch under Zinedine Zidane this season. The 48-year-old French tactician has barely counted on Ødegaard, restricting the promising talent to only 5 starts out of the 9 times the playmaker was used during this season. The Scandinavian midfielder was unable to score a goal or register an assist during 7 league and 2 Champions League outings this season. Having played with the 21 number on his back during the last 2 seasons, Ødegaard has been handed over the number 11 jersey at the Emirates, vacated by Lucas Torreira, who is on a season-long loan spell at Atletico Madrid. The number 11 shirt at Arsenal has been donned by some of the finest players, including the 2014 world champion Mesut Ozil, Carlos Vela, Robin van Persie, Ray Parlour and Ian Wright. Despite interest from a host of other European clubs, Ødegaard chose Arsenal due to Mikel Arteta, after falling down the pecking order at the Bernabeu, where he's been regularly sent out on loan since signing for Los Blancos way back in 2015. The Norwegian midfielder was supposed to complete a 2-year stay at Real Sociedad initially, but was recalled by the parent club a year earlier following their Champions League exit against Man City last August. But Ødegaard couldn't find his way into the first team under Zidane, despite putting up some memorable performances for the San Sebastian club on loan last season. The attacking midfielder disappeared completely from the coach's plans to the point where he wasn't even instructed to warm up with the rest of the subs in Real's Super Cup semi-final against Athletic Bilbao, even when Madrid were 2-0 down. Playing just on the right side of the midfield or off the front, his season with La Royale had been a revelation, having registered 7 goals and 9 assists across 36 appearances. Until lockdown, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to suggest he might have been the best player in Spain. However, Arteta played quite the masterstroke after convincing Ødegaard to ply his trade in the English top flight. The Norwegian, unhappy with the lack of opportunities at Real, reached an agreement with the North London club to find a way out and continue to progress. The Norwegian was a top priority for the Spanish coach. It was a Thursday morning when Arteta confirmed the arrival of Martin Ødegaard at a press conference prior to their 0-0 draw against Manchester United. He's a player that we followed for some time, and we believe that he's got some special qualities that we need, that we've been missing. I've been really impressed. He's such a talent. He needs the right environment, he needs a little bit of time, but I think he's got the qualities to be a success for us. He's a specialist to play in the pockets, to play in the number 8 or 10 positions. He can play off the sides. He's a really creative player who's really comfortable on the ball in tight spaces. He has the capacity to create chances and to score goals. Something that he's improved on a lot is his work rate without the ball as well. So it's another option to give us more creativity for sure in the final third, and to give us more options to set up in different ways against certain teams. Arteta's side had struggled for creativity for the majority of the campaign until Hale End Academy star Emile Smith-Rowe was unleashed in December's 3-1 win over Chelsea. Arsenal were catapulted up the table following a run of 5 wins in 6 Premier League games over December and January, but they've been brought straight back down to earth, an 11th place in the table following back-to-back losses to Wolves and Aston Villa. But the English outfit managed to turn the tables following their 4-2 win against Leeds United at the Emirates. Ødegaard made his full debut for the Gunners in that encounter, after coming on as a substitute against the Red Devils and Aston Villa previously. The Norwegian was thought to mainly fight for a starting place with Smith-Rowe under Arteta, but to the surprise of Arsenal fans, the 22-year-old midfielder was fielded alongside the Croydon-born English player. He formed a pivotal central triangle for Arsenal as they suffocated Leeds for large spells of the match, weighing in with some neat touches and confident flicks. Although the Norwegian was not directly involved in any of the goals scored by the home team, the talented playmaker had a decent game after being deployed in a 3-man advanced midfield role behind lone striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Arsenal manager Arteta was also asked about Ødegaard's performance when he was interviewed by Sky Sports after the match. All credit to him for playing from the start for the first time in the Premier League against Leeds, after playing little football the last 3 months. It was fantastic to see the way he ran, the creativity he contributed and the personality he showed during this match, says the Arsenal manager. Ødegaard has opened up on the possibility of a permanent move to Arsenal, with the Norwegian midfielder admitting anything is still possible. When asked about whether he would like to stay in London after the end of the season, the promising playmaker replied, "You never know what will happen, but for now, I'm just focused on doing my best this season and helping the team as much as possible. It's a bit different, but I think I adapted pretty well. The way they brought me into the team, my teammates and how they treated me, as well as the manager and all at the club, they helped me from the first minute," said Ødegaard. "I feel very comfortable and part of the team, so it's easy to get into this team because of the way they are and how they treat me. I'm very happy to be here and I'm proud to be part of the team." Following Özil's departure, the Gunners have lacked creative options in the number 10 position. Smith Rowe has definitely stepped up in his breakthrough season, but he's only 20 years old and he can't be expected to carry the burden of being his side's only creative influence. It's too early to conclude anything, but the 22-year-old could become a long-term replacement for the German international, who left Arsenal for Fenerbahce during the last transfer window after ending a long saga regarding his future. The gifted midfielder is yet to adapt to the physicality of the English top division and show his talent on a consistent basis, but the youngster is slowly gaining experience and doesn't want to see his progression slow down. So although there are still many months left until the end of the season, he could already be assessing himself and his future for the next year. He's a modern playmaker who can help ease the creative load that's been placed squarely on Smith Rowe's shoulders at the moment. He's a talented ball progressor, dribbler and creator, although he still needs to work on his goal-scoring instincts. It was initially feared that the 22-year-old would end up in rotation with Smith Rowe, yet Arteta found a way to field both players with the in-form Bukayo Saka behind Aubameyang. Arsenal may have a plethora of midfield options, but few have shown that they have the craft and guile to make a consistent impact. The left-footed Ødegaard is comfortable playing across any of the attacking midfield positions, making it easier for Arteta to rotate the squad against different opponents. Should the Gunners' boss switch to a midfield three, he has a solid candidate to deploy in the shape of Ødegaard. The Norwegian can play a similar role to that of David Silva at City, pulling the strings from midfield, getting into the box and also leading the press from the centre of the park. It's up to the gifted attacking midfielder to convince Arsenal to keep him at all costs, but if the Norwegian shines too much, there's no doubt that the Madrid club will be firmly opposed to a sale of a player who never got a fair look in when he was at the club. Tipped as the natural successor to Luka Modric at the Santiago Bernabeu, it seems Real are keen to have him back, and with the Spanish giants still seeing the playmaker as part of their long-term plans, Arsenal could be developing a player for the benefit of another club. Arsenal will be needing Ødegaard, who has a point to prove after years of hype as one of the most talented youngsters ahead of a tough run of fixtures for the Gunners. The versatile midfielder has the quality to help Arteta's men turn things around and play to their squad's full potential. If he can help Arsenal snatch a European qualification spot, either through the league or the Europa League, the North London club would try to sign the player on a permanent basis. Real didn't allow Arsenal to include an option to buy Ødegaard in the loan deal, but the Gunners could still be able to start negotiations with the Madrid club in the summer after it expires. But with Real Madrid, you never know. Los Blancos have a lot of talent at their disposal, which means that a few players might always get ignored. A return to Madrid might be something that could happen, but Ødegaard would definitely be looking to make the most of his time in England and perhaps become the creative force Madrid have been aching for such a long time.